Hello, friends. Audrey here. I hope you are having a wonderful day, a wonderful week, and a wonderful NaNoWriMo if you are participating, or otherwise, just a happy November. I'm drinking a little bit of coffee this morning. Okay, a lot, I admit it. So, what I want to talk to you about today is my recovery from COVID. So, I don't know if everyone knows, but I did write a blog post about it, and I had COVID. I was exposed on September 27th and started having symptoms on the 29th, and then full blown stuff for, well, over 3 weeks. And the first week wasn't so bad. It was like a sniffly cold. And then it got real bad, and I got the pneumonia and really, really bad physical head issues and brain cognitive functioning issues. And what I want to talk about today is recovering from this. This is not like recovering from the flu. Like once the symptoms are gone, you're done. The symptoms, just as soon as you think, oh, great, I'm over the symptoms, like they pop back up. Um, I went on a little vacation with my husband to deep West Virginia because we like to be out in the middle of nowhere. And we went fishing and stuff like that, even though it was November, and literally nothing but rock bass and bluegill are fighting in November. Great. So anyway, but it was nice to be out in the wild, out in the quiet. But we actually sat down and had lunch at a place for lunch. For lunch one day, we sat down at a restaurant in Davis, and I was sitting there, and all of a sudden, it felt like everything was falling, and I was like, "What happened? Did the table fall?" And I'm like holding on the table, and my husband's like, "What are you talking about?" And it actually scared him. I got really bad vertigo, and I was like, "Okay, that's scary," because we spent all morning hiking along these like cliffs near the river to try to find a spot to go down between all the rocks. Like, if I would have had vertigo while walking, who knows what would happen besides just falling in the river and being disoriented. I mean, it's rocky. It's incredibly rocky. There's boulders and cliffs like everywhere. So anyway, so there's some vertigo. There's something like I like to call missing files, and it's where you know that the information's in there, but it's like when you go into your computer and you try to open a file and it's like corrupted data or corrupted file, cannot retrieve data, and it's like that where I know the information's there, but I can't access it. It's a missing file, so or it's corrupted, and I can't access it, and things just don't add up. And then so there's a lot of recovery. Sometimes my heart is fine, and then sometimes I get really worked up over nothing. Like I jog up and down my stairs every day, since I've been feeling better enough to do so. But sometimes it's fine, and then sometimes I will be out of breath, and my heart will be pounding in my chest just from that, and it's not consistent. And when I had an EKG, when I went to the ER for the pneumonia, it it showed an abnormality. So I was reading a study that there is heart scarring from some of the people who have COVID are getting heart scarring, and it looks like that's some of what I have. It says there was an incident before, but it's abnormal because last year I didn't have that. And so it's kind of scary. So it can be a little scary when I feel short of breath or something like that. I know my heart rate's high. It's just between the cognitive issues, whatever's going on in my heart, which was I already had some tachycardia from a car accident and the previous year. And so it's just a lot of wow, when am I going to wake up to a day where I don't have some lingering symptom? Like right now, when I get really tired, it feels like when you're, and I know because I partied in Germany when I was in the army, I was too young and, trying to be with the cool kids. So I drank too much. But it was like being so drunk, you feel sick, so drunk that you can't keep your balance. Like you're going to fall down. Like the more and more tired I get, the more like my cognitive ability to just just walk, just sit upright continuously declines. And then I get really scared. Like I said, I had some horrible heart rate issues while I was well, I had COVID. So, but anyway, it gets to the point where it's just really scary. Like, oh my gosh, is something from that experience with COVID really going to end me? So recovering from COVID is not like recovering from the cold or the flu or any other thing. This has some long-term effects for many of the people who have contracted it. And I don't say that to scare anybody. I don't say that to do anything but say, this is it's a new experience for me to say, I need to rest and recover, even though sometimes I feel great and sometimes I feel back to normal. And then I have things that I want to do. I have a lot of ambition. I have, especially with catching it and feeling like maybe that was the end, like really going and saying, oh gosh, what do I want to complete before that actually happens? So there's a lot of like anxiety around that, or some anxiety. I think I'm doing a lot better these days, but every time you start to think you're better and you have a lot of stuff to do, and then it's like, nope, you have to rest, because whatever COVID did in my brain is not going to let more, my nervous system, whatever, it's not going to let me push myself. I don't get to push myself anymore. I don't get to stay up till 2 a.m. and still do anything useful. I don't get to stay up and write. I don't get to stay up and make up for the time that I lose, or the time that I spend taking care of the kids' schooling all day, every day during the week. I don't get that. So I have to work with a lot less. And I have to be really mindful of when I start feeling dizzy. That means I need to sit down. I need to close my eyes. I probably won't sleep, but I need to close my eyes. I'm having more light sensitivity and a struggle driving at night. It's scary. So I'm trying not to actually do that. I've done it once, and I don't think I'm going to do it again. So not anytime soon anyway. But yeah, a lot of light sensitivity. So yeah, it's not something to mess with. If you're a writer and you're going through it and you think, oh, I'm fine, I just have a couple of symptoms, just be really careful, because you don't know how it could progress. I thought it was just mild. I felt so lucky that I was just getting a mild version, and then day like 8 or 9 hit, and it hit me like a ton of bricks, and it was just a completely different game than that first 7 or 8 days. Completely different. Those symptoms are random and they fluctuate and they vary, and you don't necessarily have all of the things at once. And then when you think one symptom is gone, the next day it pops right back up. So it really is a game of resting and caring for your body. Actually, for like a month, I couldn't drink coffee. It was like so disappointing, but I couldn't stand the taste of it, and it burned my throat. Like, it felt absolutely horrible, but I couldn't stand the taste of it. It was disgusting. And I love coffee. And there were so many things like that. Like, I didn't lose my sense of taste or smell, but things changed. So I couldn't drink coffee. I had a couple of herbal teas that were okay, but a lot of the foods I didn't like. The taste changed while I was sick. So anyway, so there's that. And I think part of recovery is, even though we have these goals, just really being mentally flexible when you can't do that. I'm really going to strive to meet my deadline for Room and the Girls for the end of the month here. But I'm going to put out my best work possible. And I'm confident that I'm going to reach the deadline. I'm not going to say if I don't reach it, because I know that's, barring crazy stuff, that's not going to happen. I'm going to put out something. It's going to be there. That's going to be there and ready, and it's going to be something that I'm proud of. So, but I have to be flexible on days when I say, okay, well, come on, I got to get 10,000 words a day. Nope, that's just not going to happen. I probably have to only get 20,000 words, 20 or 25,000 words in to finish this book. But am I going to sit here and say, no, my little schedule says that I have to get in, 10,000 words a day or 7,500 words a day? Nope. If I feel like it, I'm going to push and push and push until that energy's gone. Because I know once that energy's gone, it gets scary. My cognitive state is absolutely terrifying. It does not feel like I should even be conscious. It feels like I could pass out at any time while walking or sitting or whatever. I could just randomly pass. That's what it feels like. Like I can barely keep my eyes open and I feel sick. So I can't, I literally can't push myself, but I will ride every ounce of energy I have and like really not take it for granted. I think that's part of it too, is like realizing I can't take my health and feeling good for granted whatsoever, because I don't know if I'll always have it. So, like I had wanted to start running this year, and with kids being home, I couldn't really do that. I could we did go walking a lot, but actually going running for myself and for my, for to kind of give me a little training program to help get healthy and improve my cardiovascular health, not just weight or anything, but my cardiovascular health. I wanted to make my heart strong after the tachycardia problems last year. And that didn't get to happen. And it is what it is, right? So I hate that saying with passion, but I have to start from where I'm at, and we have to look at what's happened and have context and have forgiveness for ourselves. This is not like anything else you've experienced. And I know some people are like, oh, it's just like the flu. It is not just like the flu, especially if you get the more severe symptoms. Like my husband, my stepdaughter, my kids, the little kids had it like 3 days. They had headaches and fatigue and just didn't feel good. And I'm so grateful that they didn't have anything worse than that. 13-year-old had him like, about a little over a week. My husband had it for a good 2 weeks, and he said he felt it move into his chest, but 2 days later he was fine. Thankfully, even if it did, like, he could feel it in his chest. He could feel that heaviness and that coughing from it. So like starting pneumonia, but somehow he skated out of that. And he is close to 50. We'll just say close to 50. He's on that side of 45. And thankfully, and not like he works out, he's not like super fit or anything, but maybe genetically he was just better off. And I was just wrecked, absolutely wrecked from this. And I'm in the middle of 30s. So like, it's just so inconsistent how it affects every person. And even him, it scared him. But some people are like, oh, it's just like the flu. It's just a head cold. It is not. The way it affects your brain and your nervous system and the blood clotting issue and the hard stuff they're finding out is terrifying. So don't let anybody tell you that. If you think that, well, then you're in the wrong place, because I've been through it. I've been through the symptoms and no, I don't have underlying or crazy underlying basically everybody has an underlying condition. Okay. So, it affects everyone differently. And just don't be dismissive of people who are going through it or struggling with their recovery, because it's going to be different for everybody. And the people who have it longer, have those symptoms longer, are the people who typically have long-term issues from this. So if you're a writer and you're getting ready for recovery, just remember that as unexpected and unpredictable as the symptoms are during sickness, it's the same way when you're recovering. You could think, oh, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm recovered, I can get right back to it. Don't do it. The minute you start to feel tired, stop. Go lay down. I don't care if it's on the couch, in a chair, like just stop and let your brain rest. Because otherwise you're going to put yourself in a world of hurt, or you could put yourself in a world of hurt. And I don't want you to be there. I don't want you to be in that moment of fear saying, did I push myself too far? And is this the end? Because that is terrifying. It's not good for mental health for sure. And it's really scary seeing that there's more studies. And I'm not just saying, oh, it's random survey. No, it's peer-reviewed stuff about the rate of people who had COVID for longer, developing a mental illness within 90 days. Say, I'm counting down on that. Like, oh my gosh, October, November, December, January. So hopefully not, hoping and praying that I'm not among that number too. So I hope you aren't. I hope you are able to recover, and don't be afraid to get the help you need. If you are having problems, it's really hard to get an appointment with a doctor right now, at least where I live. And but still schedule it and see if they are leaving any room to see people if you're worried about something. If you're worried about your recovery, everything we want to do as writers has to take a backseat to our health, because we can't do it if we're not physically and mentally in a position to do so. So we have to do that preventative care in order to make sure that we can do those things. I know this all sounds obvious, but it's something that I've had to discipline myself for. I'm a kind of go, go, go person, and projects on top of projects on top of projects. I have a really hard time saying no when people ask me for things. So this has been really tough for me to learn to say no more often, do more preventative care, and rest, because I don't like not being busy. It's not a comfortable state for me. So resting, 0 stars. No, I'm just kidding. But I feel a lot better after I do. And sometimes I just need to lay down for 20 minutes on the couch or something, something near the kids. I just need to let my brain tune down and be like passive instead of active. And then I feel better afterward, which I'm probably gonna have to go do now. I'm probably gonna have to go because I'm starting to feel that way, where there's a lot of like pressure right here in the front, and then a little bit of dizziness. And it might be partly like some light sensitivity from the light coming in the window, but just remember that you can take it slow and still get a lot done. Turtle in the hair, okay? I'm pulling out the turtle in the hair, or the tortoise in the hair. So please take care of yourselves, guys. Please let me know if you want to talk about this, if you need any help, if you're struggling to recover or recenter. I have another video coming out about recentering, which is something I had to do after, dealing with and learning about how to recover from this. I had to recenter, reset my goals, and think about what I want and reprioritize as well. So anyway, guys, I will catch you later. I really hope this is helpful. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you like this, and like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, and I will only send you videos when I think this is going to be helpful. I'm not going to bombard you with daily stuff or anything. So, but I really hope you enjoy this, and I hope it can help you or someone you know. Bye now.